Okay, so if everything worked the way it's supposed to, this is what you should be looking at when you click on the link for the Google Doc. So just to walk you through it, as you can see, it's organized by, you've got committee, topic, country, student, and then a couple of other things that I'll talk about in a moment. So over here to committee. All the rest of the page is organized exactly by committee. So at the very top we've got the ECOSOC, the topic for ECOSOC, which in this case is Futuristic Council on Fossil Fuels, and the country. Now here's the thing. People always ask me, what is the topic for that committee again? So I put that right here to make it really easy for you. Also, I organized the countries. At the top you'll have the ones that already have a student on there. Those were the students that signed up because they were the ones that turned in the permission slip ahead of time, and then from that group, if you had seniority, you got to choose your country. So as you can see, for ECOSOC, Futuristic Council on Fossil Fuels, the first two countries are already allocated, and we can see the students that are going to be that country right here. Okay, so if you've already been assigned a country, you can scroll down. Let me just fix this little formatting thing I noticed. Okay, you'll be able to notice that it's organized by, like if I'm interested in Security Council, I can see that Canada and Benin are already taken because Christian and Hannah are going to be those two countries. So if I'm really interested in Security Council and that topic, and maybe I want to be the United States, that's an option. Benin, not an option. Canada, not an option. Niger, that's an option. Now you might think that I'm saying this in a mean way, that it's obvious, or why am I talking to you like you're stupid? You're obviously not. But I get a lot of questions all the time. So this is my attempt to make sure it's really easy for everybody. So what you need to do, if you would like to request a country for a particular committee, you need to tell me what your first choice is for one, your second choice, and your third choice. So let's say, for example, that let me think of someone who hasn't given me a country yet. Okay, I'm Bethel. So I'm Bethel, and I would really like to be in, well, first of all, I see that my friend Gabby is right here in ECOSOC. Maybe I want to be in ECOSOC with my friend Gabby. But no, first thing I need to make sure is that I'm actually interested in the committee. And Bethel looks at ECOSOC, sees Futuristic Council on Fossil Fuels, and says, nah, I'm so much more interested in the Islamist insurgency in Nigeria. Oh my goodness, I see that Niger's available, and Niger is a neighboring country. It's pretty close to Nigeria. So that sounds like a really exciting country. Maybe I'm even going to go over here and Google Niger and Nigeria and see what's up with that. But that's, one option that I would definitely encourage. So let's say that you're done Googling and you figure out, yes, Niger's definitely my first choice. So I'm going to write my name right here. Okay. Notice where I wrote it. I wrote it in this column, not here, because this is the student that I will ultimately choose for this committee. I'm putting it here, because right here at the top it says, add your name if this is your first choice. Okay, so now I got my first choice, Bethel says, and now she's going to keep looking. U.S. Senate, I don't know if I want that, because I know that one's like more of a different one. I really want to learn to make sure I can do Model UN well first. Spanish, I don't know if I'm interested in doing one in Spanish. Ooh, aviation security, that sounds kind of cool. So it's the International Aviation Affairs Office. It's on aviation safety. I can see that American Airlines and British Airways are already taken. Might be kind of cool to be France though, because I know that France has a lot to do with major aviation security. I know that they had a big crash in Brazil like 6 years ago. So, okay, I already used my first choice up. That's the first column here. So I'm going to put my name in the second column, because that's the second choice. Remember at the very top it said, second choice, that's where you put it, in that second column. Okay, so I've got my name in the second column. What else would I like to be? Maybe I'd like to be Brazil. Brazil sounds really interesting. So that's going to be my third choice, right there. Now, obviously, hopefully, I, as Bethel, would be Googling this and making sure that I'm actually interested in these topics and these committees and these countries, especially since this is my very first committee and my very first conference. I want to make sure I get a good one, or one that I'm really interested in. But anyway, that's the process. That's all you've got to do. Please let me know if you have any questions. One additional thing I'd like to point out, to make it really easy, I put in blue the only places that you guys should be writing in. Okay? So if it's white, you're not going to write in it. If it's blue, that means you could write in it if you would like to request that one. Now what happens if I'm a TS and I want to request Niger in the Security Council also as my first choice? I'm going to write a comma and then my name. Okay? So, you know, you probably will have a lot of people trying to request first choice the same country. And that's okay, that's normal. So just make sure that you put your name in the one that you're most interested in and that you're only writing in those blue areas. Mess with my formatting and I will find you. Alright, that's it guys. Hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Best, Miss M.